Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about Mike McCarthy, the guy that has the most pressure probably in the entire NFL to succeed in 2022, is going into the biggest offseason, biggest season for the Dallas Cowboys since the 2019 year, with all the pressure that was on that year. We'll talk about all of that in today's video, but before we go any further, if you guys could do me a solid favor and like the video, it does not take too long to do whatsoever, and it helps the video perform better in YouTube's algorithm, so by hitting that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, if you are new and a part of the 77% that have not subscribed to this YouTube page, by all means, join in on the fun. Subscribe, hit the big red button, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the content when it drops. So, year 3 for head coaches are the biggest pretty much universally. Why is that? Well, you have the third year of a guy that's drafting his guys to build the team in a way that he seems fit to try and win a Super Bowl. And we kind of got a sense of what the Cowboys tried to do early on with Mike McCarthy, and now, at this point in time, it looks like the Cowboys have a general theme of what they're trying to do. So to kind of start off, that first moment McCarthy was hired, we felt like, okay, we just got off one of the most important off seasons for the Cowboys where, okay, we need to figure out what we're doing for our next head coach because we know Jason Garrett will no longer be here, because that 2019 offseason, you pretty much had everything set up. You just couldn't get to the playoffs with a team like that. That was just despicable. In my personal opinion, if Mike McCarthy was the head coach of that team, especially with the guys that we have now, that team probably makes the postseason, and that's not even a question. But year 1 was about just retinkering a couple of things and just going from there. Of course, the injuries derailed the season, but it looked like the Cowboys had a lot more work to do to help put this roster in position to do well for the following season. And that's exactly what they did. You got Micah Parsons. That 2020 class really helped you as well, and that propelled the Cowboys to a 12-5 record that put them at the 3rd spot in the NFC playoffs, and unfortunately they lost in the first round against one of the more tougher opponents in the conference. That's no lie there. However, when you actually take a look at year 3, you can see what the Cowboys have done. They have looked at players that they feel are not optimal, that give their 110%, kicked them to the curb, and now they bring in a bunch of more blue-collar guys that are going to try and bring more of a swagger and attitude to the team. Whether I agree with that or not is one thing, but that's what the Cowboys are looking to do. Now, not everything is on Mike McCarthy. If you know the dynamics of this organization, you would know that the front office, that is Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, they really like to have things their way. This is no secret. So you have situations where it's like, okay, we know the Cowboys should be playing these guys. And look, it's no secret. The Cowboys organization is just, hey, you do what the owner and the basically GM tells you to do, and you say no more, right? And I think you have to commend the job Mike McCarthy has done, because if you compare that to Jason Garrett's tenure, you know, when you go from 8-8 to 8-8 to 8-8, and then you don't notice any notable improvement, right? That's a problem. I think with Mike McCarthy, this is just my personal opinion, I think he solidified himself as the better coach than Jason Garrett, because you see a much quicker imprint this go-around than the previous head coach. But the big thing is, what do we need to see in year 3 to determine whether Mike McCarthy will keep the job in 2023, which I personally predict he will? Here's what you do. If you believe the Dallas Cowboys are a playoff team and they end up winning a playoff game or two, let's just say they win a playoff game. Let's just say they win a wild card playoff game and they lose very closely in the divisional round, especially if it's something that had no, issue with Mike McCarthy. Like, that's the thing. It's extremely ambiguous, this situation. you can't tell me that you're going to sit here and fire a guy that got you back to the playoffs, the first back-to-back playoff appearances since 06-07. On top of that, especially if you do happen to win the NFC East, which again, the Cowboys have the ability to. Will they? We'll see. If you win the division back-to-back, Mike McCarthy is going to be the first head coach to do that since Barry Switzer. Yes, Barry frickin' Switzer. That's how long it's been since the Cowboys have repeated as NFC East champs. So, you can't tell me that McCarthy has put together a group of guys that can't be competitive. Now, if we go into this year and we disappoint, yes, you can have that argument to let him go. Now, here's where I get worried about this year. You have the Sean Payton rumors just going to linger and linger and linger. And I'm telling you guys, and I'm going to go on a limb here, Mike McCarthy, if he's canned, it's not going to be Sean Payton that's going to be the next head coach. It's going to be Kellen Moore. I'm going to just put it out there. Kellen Moore is the next head coach in waiting. And the problem I also have is people think Sean Payton's going to magically fix everything here. Do I like Sean Payton? Yeah, I think that he's a great coach. I think that he definitely has what it takes to get the job done. But at the same time, if you look at the resumes, him and Mike McCarthy are very similar. But more importantly, do you really think the dynamic's going to change? You have a friendship already in place, similar to how Jason Garrett was, and you really think they're going to change how they spend money in free agency? We can't be this naive. So, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, or if I'm a Cowboys fan that doesn't like Mike McCarthy, which for me, I don't care for McCarthy. I think that he's just doing his part. You're kind of hoping that the Cowboys have a good year this year. Who are you going to replace Mike McCarthy with that, well, when I say it this way, people, of course, are going to take a look at it and say, well, I want Sean Payton. I want this guy. I want that guy. But we all know where the Cowboys are going to go with this. They're going to hire the Wonderkin himself. It literally looks like that exact situation is going to happen. And if it does, I'm going to have a serious problem with that. I really am. You can't tell me that Kellen Moore is deserving of being the next head coach of the Cowboys, which of course carries different responsibility because it's like we just did this crap. We can't afford to do this stuff again. If you are looking to do a situation where you need a brand new head coach, go to the college ranks or get someone from outside the organization. The problem with Kellen is that he has the stench of Jason Garrett all over him, and Mike McCarthy, it is his job to help Kellen get out of that goddamn mind-brain crap that Garrett influenced him / basically threw him under the bus with. So, with all that said, my expectation is the Cowboys will return to the playoffs as either a wild card team or winning the NFC East with a decent record. And if they do that, that's cool. I just don't know what to do at this point because I really hope to God the Cowboys do not screw this up. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Dallas Cowboys can stick with Jason Garrett for 10 seasons, they could stick with McCarthy for 4 to 5. Especially if McCarthy wins a playoff game this go around. And, jeez, I don't know. I'm just very, very worried about that Kellen Moore rope-a-dope crap that's going to happen if, if McCarthy's canned. So I don't want to go on forever. Those are the expectations. That's why year 3 is big. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Alright, guys? Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.